watching the Magnificent Seven and so many other names. Of course, Mag 7 names are making headlines. For example, Tesla's the best performer in the S&P 500 with its full self-driving approval out of China. And Meta's still under some pressure. I mean, in fact, that's one of the big laggards in the S&P 500 today, in the top 5 losers. So let's get to David Dietze, Managing Principal, Senior Portfolio Strategist, PPAC Private Wealth Management. Thank you for being with us. So I know you're watching all of these names and you have some reasons in your notes to be cautious on the markets. You also have some stock picks for us today. But let's start with the big picture. I mean, everybody's so focused on these names. Are there winners among them? Can you still find value in the Magnificent Seven? If so, which names?
Yes, I think you can. So our top name here, let's go right to the top, would be Meta Platforms. Now, why Meta Platforms? Obviously, they got spanked the other day, even though they had blowout numbers, beating on the top line, beating on the bottom line. But it was the degree of their capital expenditures on AI, exactly when that could yield them some profits, that spooked investors. Of course, the stock has been up about 80% over the recent past. So, it was probably right for some profit taking. But here's the thing, it had tremendous echoes to me of a couple of years ago when they wanted to go big into metaverse. Well, they ultimately got hit hard by Wall Street too, and the stock price went down, and they scrambled. They were very agile, and they scaled back their metaverse ambitions, did the year of efficiency, and the stock came right back. So here, I think that they can win in either way. If they're successful in figuring out a way to monetize AI, and I wouldn't put anything past Mark Zuckerberg, he's the best CEO out there in terms of the Mag 7 in my book. Great. If not, they have shown the ability to come back and punt, basically scale back those AI ambitions, get more efficient again. And I think their underlying businesses, where basically it's digital advertising, is so scalable and is so transferable across the globe. A world where 1/3 of the people still don't have internet access. I think it's blue skies ahead. Plus, valuation matters. You're at the lowest valuation in terms of earnings per share of any of the Mag 7. So that's right at the top of my leaderboard here.
Yeah, look, I mean, you talk about what you like of Mark Zuckerberg. You seem to feel he's got a good road ahead. I mean, at the same time, you question the leadership sometimes of names like Tesla and Apple. Are either one of those a buy?
Well, so, Tesla, my hat always goes off to Elon Musk. And just recently in the news, of course, he pulled another rabbit out of the hat. He was the one that went over to China, got the big meeting, got the regulatory approvals to take have a key role in terms of rolling out self-driving in China, got a key partnership with that internet giant Baidu. My hat's off to him. However, here's the stock, of course, that's at 49 times earnings, almost double the PE of Meta. And of course, what really drove the stock the other day was his willingness to start making cheaper EVs. And I have to tell you, being in this business for a long time, I like to see companies have more expensive products with fatter margins. I don't want to see essentially a car company start competing with the Chevy Volt. I don't see the margins there. And so he may sell a lot of cars, but will he make a lot of money? Will he cheapen the brand name of Tesla in the process? That remains to be seen. Investors are in there because of the self-driving technology, but when is that going to happen? My experience with Wall Street is an impatient place. They don't want to wait 5 to 10 years to see the money hit the bottom line. And I think that's the problem for the Tesla investor today.
All right, let's get to some of the other names. You have BHP and Pfizer. Tell me about those two. How much do you think those can move higher?
Yeah, so Pfizer was a stock that was a company, of course, that together with Moderna got us out of the pandemic with this COVID-19 vaccine that partnered with the BioNTech on. At that point, investors loved Pfizer. The stock was well above 60. But investors now are like, well, where's the encore? And they've driven the stock down now to well below 30. Of course, you've got a yield now of over 6%, 4 times the S&P 500. But I think what investors are overlooking is they do have a blue chip pipeline. They just bought Seagen, a $43 billion acquisition. It's going to give them a whole panoply of cancer-focused drugs, which, of course, is what the market wants to see. They've also got a blue chip sales force, not just in this country, but worldwide. They're going to be the partner of choice for smaller companies to join up with when they want exposure for whatever they find in their pipeline. And I think what investors are waiting for is their own weight loss remedy. I know they're working on it. Investors have been disappointed that only Novo and Eli Lilly have it for the most part. But if Pfizer can get a decent product to market, you're going to see this stock, it could certainly get back up to where it was during COVID-19, above 60.
Yeah. All right. So we'll watch for that because it's at $25 now. You said you like small caps, international, emerging markets, financials, real estate. Final thoughts on these groups? Why are some of these your preferred sectors?
It's all about valuation. I actually kind of like the market because as long as we don't see a recession, the earnings are going to carry the stocks up. The one wild card is recession. It's devastating really to the market when it occurs. The problem is it's so hard to figure out. But what the risk is, of course, you've got very high multiples on those large caps. So we're suggesting to investors to diversify overseas, diversifying to smaller caps, diversifying to value caps, where the valuations are more consistent with what history has shown them to be. And that way we think we can ride out if there's any volatility ahead because of bumps in the economy.
David Dietze, PPAC Private Wealth Management. Thank you so much. Always great to have you on the show. Really appreciate it. Thank you.